take you exactly where I need you. And I bet you anything, I know for a fact that fish, over those 2 days, that whale, 24 hours, 48 hours, that fish was moving toward Nineveh already. Like God's like, no, I'm going to time this perfect. Because I already know when he's going to start praying.
Yeah.
I know when his heart's going to change. And I'm going to put that whale right there in front of Nineveh. And he's just going to hang out there for the last day. He's just going to just hover right there in that water in front of Nineveh. Because this is the day the Lord has made, and we're going to rejoice and be glad in it.
Amen.
So he replants. God says, great, he finally got it. He's willing to do it. God says, "Ben, now open your mouth. Spit him out." There he is. You're right where you need to be. See, that's what God does. That's what God does with a lot of our family members.
Yes.
He'll just put them in his belly for a while. He'll take them right there to the place where it's going to be in the will of God. So they think they're running, but they're not really running. Yeah? Because how can you run from a God that's already at the place you're running to before you get there?
Amen.
So you can't run from him. David said, if I go to the depths, he's there. The heights, he's there. The heavens, he's there. The far side of the east is to the west. The north is to the south. He's there. He's everywhere. Heavenlies, he's there. Darkness, he's there. No matter where I go, he's there. So I might as well just throw up my hands, surrender, obey, and let him have his way and will in me. Amen?
Amen.
What God needs is someone to stand in the gap for your family. All he needs is one. He just needs one to stand in the gap. One that's going to stand in the gap and plead and pray on behalf of that family member or family members. Personally, my family's going through a lot of difficult things right now. Very difficult things. I wasn't sure I was going to share this, but maybe I will. I won't give any names. I want to keep confidentiality, and it's very personal. But I would just say this so that you can pray. What you may not know is that, okay, so I got two relatives, a nephew and a niece. Both are expecting. They're both expecting babies. We're all happy for them, you know, really happy for them. In fact, today was was going to be the reveal of the gender for one of my nephew's baby, and they're really happy about it, you know, and I'm really happy about it too. And my niece also is she's having twins. And she's really happy about that. She got the news last week, I think it was. She's gonna have twins. I think it was sometime last week. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And, you know, we're really, really happy about it. Unfortunately, she found out after going to the doctor just a couple days ago that she has miscarried both babies.
Aww.
And so our hearts are broken. Her heart is broken. And that was very heavy for me to carry over the last few days. And my family wants me to reach out and wants me to come, and I'll I'll be going out to visit with them. Whether it's tonight or whether it's tomorrow, I'm going to go spend some time with my family. Because my niece doesn't want to come out of the room. She's isolated herself. She doesn't want to talk to anybody. Her heart is broken. She's grieving. And rightfully so. I understand her pain. I won't try to relate to it because it's just not up to me to relate to. You just need to be there. Listen, hear, hold, pray. You know? It's going to take time. Time will heal. Time will heal. But that's life. So when I read this message and I'm preaching to you about faith, just as the minister last week was sharing, you know, as we were praying and ministering, and also Pastor Ray and Vilma were sharing as well, you know, that, you know, the same word that I preach, I also got to apply, and I got to let that word help me in the way that it helps you. And I took that to heart. I believe that wholeheartedly. It's the same thing with faith. Okay, today I talked about faith is what I need. I need to have faith in places that I don't understand. You know, okay, I've talked to you about my parents. I talked to you about my mom, you know, who was hit by a car, and that's how she died. She died by getting hit by a car. Okay, out of all the things that I could have accepted, which was her health, which she had about probably 60, 70 different things that she could have died from her health, it had to be by the hand of some car, you know. And so for me, I had to make my peace with that. I don't have to like it, don't have to agree with it. It's something that's already happened. But I have to allow faith to be the voice for me, to help me to continue to move forward and move through and press on, continue to have faith, trust God, love God, and help God's people. It's just something you do. It's life. It's life. Here's another situation that doesn't make any sense. Okay, it's a very high light to a very low place, high place to a very low place. You know, so now the more difficult situation is now you've got one celebrating the reveal of life, then you've got the same one in the same house, siblings together, who's now grieving. So how do you celebrate one without being insensitive to the other? That's a difficult situation. That's a very difficult situation to be in. Do we postpone it? Do we not do it? Do we not move forward with it? What do we do? How do we, what's the right thing to do? There is no right answer. You gotta pray. You gotta have peace. You gotta, there's just no right way to go about this. So we gotta trust God. So in that place we don't understand, we gotta trust God. There's a lot of things you're going through right now that you don't understand. You gotta trust God. It's uncertain sometimes. We want God to just make it clear to us. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Just show me what to do and I'll go. Just tell me what direction to go and I'll go.
Yeah.
If it's no, no. If it's yes, yes. If it's wait, wait. Just tell me. And then all you hear is what? Oh, those are crickets.
Nothing.
Yeah, just hear crickets out there. Waiting God to speak, just crickets.
Yes.
Or you get silence. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, God, didn't you hear the storm going on around us? Big, huge storm around us. How can you be at the bottom of the boat sleeping? How do you sleep when there's a storm out here? Because he's at peace within. If you're at peace within, calming the storm inside of you, the storm outside of you can't affect you.
Amen.
It's the moment the storm is growing on the inside of you, the outside storm is only a reflection of the inside storm.
Yes. Yes.
Be still. Because if you're still within, you can calm that storm within. The confusion, the chaos, the difficulty that's going on inside. If you can calm that storm, then you have the authority to speak to the outward circumstances and say, be still. Rebuke the wind and be still, and it will obey.
Yes.
If you have dominion over the storm within you.
Amen.
But if you don't have the dominion over the storm within you, you can yell at that storm all day long. It ain't going to move because you're not still within. So you can't still without.
Amen. Amen. Yes.
So I shared that with you, not because I wanted to share that. I was debating on whether to share that. But I share that because I just want you to know that none of us are exempt from this thing called life.
That's true.
Just because you got a title of a pastor or a leader or a minister or a prophet or, words of, a young apostle and,
Yes.
which, by the way, wasn't the first time I've heard that. I've heard that several times over the course of my life, so I had 4 or 5 apostles and 4 or 5 prophets come over and pray for me on my birthday, and that's exactly what they prayed over me the whole time. 2-hour prophecy. One person. And a song the Lord sang to me.
Wow.
To a person. Yeah.
What, 2 hours?
I just gotta find the CD somewhere. But God sang a song from heaven to me. I'm like, wow.
Wow.
Maybe I shouldn't have shared that with you. I might feel favored. People were telling me that after, like, God doesn't sing songs to me. Yeah, but you've been prophesied over I don't know how many times. God ministers to you when he needs you to hear what he needs you to hear. But God reminded me, and when I heard what I heard last week, and I got that message from Reverend Lee, he sent me a nice message, and it was really great. He was very encouraged by what he heard, and he sent me his notes from what he spoke a year ago, and it was just very, very encouraging to know that God is doing something even greater than what we even realize he's doing. And I just don't want to be, I want to find myself right where I need to be in the will of God. I want to be accounted for, and so here is this incredible, wonderful service we had last week, and I feel we're having a really great service today, but it's amazing how many things can change in 1 week. What I just shared with you right now, and it wasn't all good. In 1 week things can change, things can happen. It's amazing what can happen. So that's why you have to have faith, because you don't know what tomorrow holds. You don't know what you're going to face tomorrow. Not that you got to fear it. It's just that you got to have faith to respond to it. Whatever it is you're going through, faith is the only thing that you need. It's discouraging. And I mean, if I put myself in Rob's shoes, and the difficulty he's been experiencing, and him having faith and trusting God, but yet he just has one thing after the next thing after the next thing, that could be very discouraging. I don't know if I could respond in the way that he's responding and still have joy in his heart at times and still make a joke every now and then at times. I don't know if I could do that, but clearly God gives him grace to do that. Not that means he's on top of the world and he's feeling good. He's probably discouraged. He's probably down and out at times. But you know what? God is with him. He can be where Patty can't be. As much as Patty wants to lift up that burden and help him go through what he's going through, she can't do that. All she can do is pray for him. That's all she can do is have faith for him.
Amen.
And him to have faith for himself.
Yes.
faith in God. Not the God that Patty serves, but the God that he knows and serves. His God. That's what your children and that's what your family need to hear. They need to know that that is their God. Your sons and daughters need to call upon their God, not your God, their God. That name of Jesus, that'll open up what they need at the time that they need it. That's what God wants to do in them.
Yes.
Let them isolate themselves if they feel that's what they need to do. There is no door, there is no gate, there is no wall, there is no place that can keep Jesus out of. Remember the disciples, in closing, remember the disciples after the resurrection. He says, okay, I'm going to go find those boys. Where are they at? They're hiding out in the house, fearful. Hiding out, locked doors. Locked the door and everything because they thought they were going to be persecuted and they were next. That's why they were hiding out in fear. Jesus didn't even come knocking on the door. If you read your Bible, he walked right through the wall.
Yeah.
And showed up. That's a whole nother message, but there is no wall so great that Jesus can't walk through. So you can put a wall up in your life, but Jesus says, and? And what's this? Walks right through it. Because there's nothing that can keep him out. Love is stronger. Love is stronger. Amen. Let me pray for us. Thank you, Lord. Heavenly Father, I just thank you for allowing us this time together to share your word together, Lord. Lord, what they've heard today, Lord, is your word. What they needed today